Hello everyone, it's Shel C from PaperOcotilloStudio. Today I'm sharing with you a live stream speed up. Today on the Art Joy of Sharing live stream channel, Peg Robinson and I made ornaments. And so my ornaments are made out of paper scraps and in a collage sort of way. I have this PDF file that I'm planning on linking down below the video as well as over on my blog so that you can print it and make your own ornaments if you'd like to. I made myself some patterns out of these ones that I drew this morning, and then I cut them out of some scraps of 140-pound watercolor paper. You could also use, and actually would be really awesome to use, like cereal boxes or something like that, chipboard that you could recycle. These just happen to be on my desk, these scraps of a larger sheet of watercolor paper. So I use that to cut out my pieces. I have a bird and I have an angel that I drew this morning, and they were inspired by other things that I've seen other people make, but you know, we all make our own individual things, and I did draw them myself, so they can be my own. And then I have this big box, this big plastic box. Well, it's not big, it's like a large size shoebox type thing, plastic. And whenever I do a project, I always have scraps left over. I have little pieces of napkin, I have little pieces of paper. I've used that thing on something and then I have a piece left. And so I put them in this box, and it also has some like drawings that I've made. You know, when I sketch something, I just keep this sketch and I throw it in there in case I want to use it on another project. And this stuff just all collects. And that's what I'm using today on my projects, is all those little scraps of paper. So I've cut out my pieces, and I am using Liquitex matte gel medium to glue on pieces of paper to make a design. One thing that I will caution here, because I messed it up on the angel, is for each of the body, the main pieces of these ideas, the wings are 3D on these, but the bodies are flat. And I designed them so that you could put them in an envelope, like an invitation size envelope, and mail them to somebody as a little handmade gift. So for like the bird here, you need two of the bodies, and you only need to collage one side. But for the wings, you need to collage both sides because they're going to be folded up and made into this 3D looking thing. Just make sure that when you're collaging the body sections that do them you do them opposite. So one is facing one direction and one's facing another direction, because otherwise they won't go back to back. They won't fit back to back. So that's my one little caution. I'm using metallic pins on the edges to cover up the white edges of the watercolor card. You know, it looks white on the edges once you glue the pieces together or you fold them over, you collage them on both sides, you still see that white. So in the case of the bird, I used a copper PBO metallic paint pen. On the angel, I used a gold PBO pen. Also, you can decorate these to the max. I didn't go all out on these. I ran out of time and I needed to get something photographed, so I didn't put any sequins or gems or glitter or, you know, a lot of doodling detail on them. I did a little bit, but not very much, because I just didn't have time. But you could really go all out on these. You could go crazy on these. Basically, all I did was just add a little bit of pin work, and that was it. But you could, you know, use some old jewelry that you might have laying around, like Peg did on her project, or just any type of scrapbook paper. You know, go crazy. And if you do make these, please post the pictures of what you made in the Art Joy of Sharing Facebook group. If you haven't joined that yet, you can go and ask to join that as well. And just make sure that you answer the questions that we ask when you do your application, so that we know that you're not, you know, that it's not some sort of business that's trying to promote itself, or something that's going to spam the group because we just don't have time for that. So that's why we ask those questions, to make sure that whoever is wanting to join is a legitimate person who wants to share their art and not somebody who wants to advertise their, whatever, their gemstones or whatever. So yeah, that's why we ask the questions. So now I'm putting this together. Obviously, there's a whole bunch missing here that you couldn't see because we were on Art Joy of Sharing live stream. There's two of us, and so we switch back and forth, back and forth. So there's sections that you don't see, but I finished up the bird and I put it under something heavy to dry, and now I'm working on the angel. And I did a lot of napkin applique on the angel, and then I'm adding some other little strips, just trimming little pieces of scraps that are lying around and putting them on there. And so I hope that you do go over to my blog and get the link. I might put it below the video too, if I can figure out how to do it. I have to figure out how to do it first. But if there's a link below the video to the PDF, that would be great. You can, get it from there. Or I do know that I have put it on I've put documents on my blog before, so I'll figure out that. And then you can make your own little ornaments with collage and scraps, and you can have fun and share them with everyone. If you've enjoyed this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up, leave me a comment or question below, subscribe if you haven't already, and of course you can share this on Pinterest or Facebook or something if you know someone who would be interested in making little collage ornaments as gifts or to put on their tree, and that would be awesome. And that is it for me, and yeah, that's it. Bye-bye.